Season 3 of the ISRL Tier 2 Championships. We're tuning in right in the middle of qualifying. We had a bit of stream issues. I'm joined in the commentators booth by ISRL Esports. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, since you've been kind of keeping track while we've been trying to figure out the stream issues, give us a bit of a summary of what's gone on so far in qualifying. What have we seen?
Well, we see Mushroom head out there and set the fastest lap at a 1:03.658. But one to watch here is Infamous Pillars. He is an ISRL Academy driver looking to make a name for himself. What a way to do it, to get into the front row in your first ever race. So,
oh yeah,
what to watch.
Yeah, that's a bit of a solid lap, a 103.6 to kick things off here in the short qualifying. We've already got most of the drivers already setting times anywhere between mid 103s to I guess mid to high, whatever you want to call it, the 105s near the end of the 105s. Still waiting on I guess Blin, Albiku, Gibraltar, Matt, Klunberg, and Chris to set some laps though. They might be waiting for a little bit later. But yeah, what would you say your talking point so far is, at least with the start of the season? I know we don't have too much in terms of rivalries, battles going on so far, but what's your storyline going into this first race?
Well, it's got to be about the fact that the lineup for Tier 2 is shaken up. This might not be because, it might not look the way it did for people that watch our streams as it did last season. We got a couple guys moving up and down to pretty much cultivated to what we see here with 19 drivers. Klunberg and I believe maybe a couple other guys, Lewis, Lorenzo. These were all guys from Tier 3 who moved up to Tier 1. Then you have guys like Glyn Machine who show great pace in Tier 1 who dropped down to Tier 2. So this is going to be close. We have a lot of fast drivers with similar pace, and this ought to be a good Tier 3 race we had earlier was really good as well, so this ought to be even better.
Oh yeah, definitely in for a good race as soon as the qualifying ends here. Another driver was formerly in Tier 1 in Season 2, if I recall, that we're actually riding on board with right now. Looks like he's just about to finish a lap, is Vito here. He's in the Ferrari this year. He's going to cross the line. Does he better his time? It doesn't look like it, or at least he's staying in 4th. But I do, honestly, I expect a good showing from Vito this year here in Tier 2. Already looking strong in 4th, but there we go. I say that. Mushroom actually, it looks like he improves on his lap. He sets a 103.6, 103.61. So not a bad lap for him. Hopefully he can keep it clean, steer away from the incidents, and I'm sure he can have a good result, at least to kick things off for the for Season 3 in the first race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. We're already seeing the fact that first and second are only separated by about 0.07 of a second. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. So we're definitely going to see a nice battle between the top two, at least early on, with Mushrooms and Infamous Pillars. I'm excited to see what he can do in that Haas car. You mentioned he's from the Academy, so I'd like to see. I'm very hopeful to see what he can do here on the, I guess you could say, on the main stage here in Tier 2.
Yeah, during our Formula Fridays, we invited a bunch of Academy drivers. I think we have about 4, and he showed amazing pace there. So it's good that he got the opportunity to reserve for this race so he can actually show people. Maybe he's just trying to bypass the Academy and just show that he's ready for the big leagues right out of the rip. So this should be good to watch.
Oh yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, long ways to go. Qualifying is one thing, but the race is a completely other showdown, especially in those first few laps. But let's ride on board, or let's ride with Infamous, at least on stream, just to see to see what he can do in terms of 1 lap pace. Looks like he sets a purple sector 1.
Yeah.
All right, the traffic didn't get in the way, so that's pretty solid. So far, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good lap for him in that Haas car.
Yeah, very smooth on the power as well, coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, let's see, is now we've got most of the drivers now set some time. Only 3 of them to go. One of them, it looks like he's on a flying lap. That's Klunberg there, too. I might jump to him in just a moment once we finish this lap with Infamous here. You know what? Wonderful camera. That might have actually been Klunberg there that we saw just right at the end before it switched over. But let's see, he's coming around the final corner. Oh, VR goes second fastest, and there we go. Infamous Pillars takes pole. Klunberg dives into the pit, so he didn't like his lap, but what a lap by Infamous Pillars. 103.1 with
get on the original pole so far.
yeah, and he
5 minutes left of the session, setting the benchmark.
oh yeah, sets the benchmark, and he opens the gap to about 5/10 now compared to what it was just a few hundredths of a second before that. And I think he might actually maybe even give it a bit of toe to his teammate behind him there too, just as a bit of a nice little added bonus. Or maybe not, because he's out. That's El Biku out in an out lap, but we'll see if he actually can improve his time now.
And if anybody who's currently in the race that is watching the stream, let us know. Are we expecting rain? What's the weather looking like for the race? Because it is Austria, and you never know.
Oh yeah, you never know, especially history's shown that this Grand Prix is prone to weather. We haven't brought it up too much, especially with the new game. I'm not too sure what the rates on this are, but the safety car is always at least a talking point, I have to say, early on. We didn't see any in the Tier 3 race. I'm not too sure about Formula Fridays if we saw any safety cars there.
Not even a VSC.
Not even a VSC. So far it looks like we're not seeing them too much. But you know, especially with the new game, it is always a wild card because you know, you never really know if you're going to see one or not, and that could completely turn the race, you know, on its head, depending on the timing of it. But it's starting to come down to the last 4 minutes of qualifying, so I think a lot of the drivers are going to want to get out within the next 2 minutes, I would say, just to try to set one last lap, maybe improve on their time a little bit.
Mushroom's about to start his lap.
Yeah, he's fallen down to third, so few other faster times came in. Gibraltar, I didn't even notice. He set a 103.2, and that put him up into provisional P2. And, you know, we're still waiting on the Red Bulls here, Mats and Kloonberg, to set some times. The only two drivers left that haven't set times, from what I can see. So, well, hopefully they can put something on the board, because we're starting to hit, like I was saying, the end of qualifying now. So, not too much time left. So it's gonna have to be a pretty perfect lap, I would say.
It looks like they're gonna try and go for the medium tire at the start. So, different strategies, but Mushroom didn't set a purple sector 1. It's been an okay-ish lap so far for him.
You know, let's actually jump with him. He's coming around turn 4, I believe. There in that Mercedes car, looking to bring it to a pole position.
Oh, there's a purple sector 2 for him. So
definitely speeding up. But we'll see what he can do in sector 3. These last two turns can really make or break a lap. Let's see how he does it. So far, so good. Pops it down the 5th, not too much curb there, and it looks like somebody went off. That might have been a Ferrari there, and he actually improves a little bit, but not enough to take pole. I see. Oh, and he runs into the into the wall for good measure there. See, I was gonna ride with. Oh, go on ahead.
I just don't know what that was.
Not too sure. Slams the wall in frustration. I guess that's what I'll settle with. Given he wasn't able to get pole. Vito, he retires, so he's comfy with his P8. It seems his 103.8. But now we got lots of drivers now going on some flyers. So you know, let's ride with Gexy. I'm not too sure what to expect from Gexy. So far, sitting in 9th. But we'll see if he can take a bit of a better lap, as that's a Renault there. I think letting Alex jump, having a bit of a, I guess, having a bit of fun in the sand there. But let's see, Infamous Pillar still sitting on provisional pole. We'll see if anybody can take it away from him, or you know, if he can even improve his lap. And oh no, that's Mats. He's out of the session as Gexy gets promoted up into a provisional P4. So pretty good lap from him right at the end of the session. But that's Mats actually out of qualifying, so he's gonna have to retire there without even setting a lap. See, Kloonberg, he's low on gas, hasn't set a time either. He's going into the pits, so not the best qualifying for the Red Bulls to start off here in Tier 2, as neither one of them is able to get a time set here around Austria. In this qualifying session. So unless they've got, you know, unless that's all part of the master strategy at Red Bull, I don't think they're going to be too happy with their qualifying. Somebody else who might not be too happy with their time right now is a Blinn Machine, all the way down in P16, but I think he's on a lap right now, so we'll see if he can better his time, maybe get promoted into a top 10 spot here.
Yeah, I'm just riding along with Pillars right now. He's trying to best his full lap. One thing he can do now instead of 102.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going to see the 102s here in Tier 2 in the dying moments of this qualifying session? The time is done, but the drivers now still have time to finish their laps.
Instead of purple sector 2.
Yep, and let's see, oh my goodness, Blinn Machine going very wide. He invalidates his time, so not the, probably not the best lap for Blinn.
Around.
Oh no. Oh, who was that? El Biku. We saw that there in the stream for just a half second. Runs into the wall, flipped a little bit on... that's got to be a glitch. 10-lap old soft tires. I'll believe it when I see it.
I don't...
Yeah, it seems like we're finding out a bit of a spectator glitch here with the tire life. Let's see. Lewis is going to cross the line. Does not improve, at least in terms of positioning. So at least for now, unless
VR.
Yeah, unless VR can set a better time. I'm not going to say anything just yet.
Oh, he's cut the
corner. Well, there we go. He invalidated his lap time, and it looks like that's everyone now. So Infamous Pillars taking the pole position with a 103.1. What a qualifying showing by the Academy driver here in Tier 2. Gibraltar in a provisional P2, starting from the front of the grid with Mushroom and Gexy. It looks like they're going to be starting P3, P4. VR invalidates his time, but still a pretty solid P5 start for him. Lots of 103s, so I'm expecting a pretty close. Like lots of battles, a close grid here in this first race. I don't know about you, but all these 103s are giving me hope.
You gotta feel the confidence level of Pillars right now. Taking pole on debut, that's...
Oh
yeah. Feel good about that.
Yeah, I definitely gotta feel good about that. But now we'll see if he can transition that into race pace, and maybe maybe we'll see a pole to victory for Infamous. But it is a long race, 50%ers, so anything can happen.
Oh yes. What is going on here? Who's still running laps?
Take a look. Dry but cloudy is the most recent race update that I'm seeing, just as we're waiting for the time to expire. Here, I'm not too sure who we're waiting on really, since it seems like everybody finished. But maybe it's an issue, because I think we had something similar in the Tier 3 event as well. We'll just wait for the time to expire.
I wonder if the tire wear still counts for these guys that have been stuck out on track.
Yep, alright, here we go. I think this might be a bit of a standard issue we're having. I'm seeing Sergio Perez being added to the grid as the 20th driver. I don't think he's going to start the race, to be honest with you, but he's there at least for now.
And I'm stuck on 1 second remaining in time.
Yeah, I think it might just be the stream delays and whatnot. Yep, there we go. I think it's just a common commentator's, I guess, a small glitch, I would say. So I think we have that with the Tier 3 stream too. At least it's not game breaking and we can still advance. But yeah, there we go. Infamous Pillars, Gibraltar, Mushroom, Gexy, and VR, your top 5. Behind there you've got Cruz, Lorenzo, Thomas, Lewis, and Vito to round out your top 10. But I'm seeing from 3rd all the way to 11th. Looks like it's less than 5/10 separating the field there.
This should be a close race. I expect nothing. I remember last year, Tier 2. I know different drivers, but Tier 2 started off the season with a banger in Australia. So I don't know why I said it like that. Almost said Austria. Yeah. So I expect nothing but good racing from these guys.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting lots of good things. Hopefully we'll get, I guess in your words, another banger here today around the Austrian Grand Prix. But before we do that, we are going to have a formation lap. I guess not so exciting for us, but good for the drivers just to get into the race groove here a little bit. But we're just gonna have to wait to get started, and we'll see. Hopefully, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any weather affecting for the race, but we can always hope that some ghost rain cloud appears out of nowhere. No. Just giving it a little bit. Let's see, there we go. We're going to start off in about 30 seconds as the drivers have given the, looks like we've got the green light to hit the OK button there. So very soon we're going to get started here around Austria. Alrighty, breather for the drivers, breather in the commentator's booth, and here we go. We're going to start off on the formation lap as Infamous Pillars will lead us through. So we've run through everybody here. Now, honestly, I'm just excited for the race to started. Oh my, the race to started. The race to start. To see what's going to go on. Oh, nice. We've got these Amazon AWS Insights. Looks like the one stop to the medium is going to be around lap 14, I think. I didn't really catch it for the hard tires. I'm not too sure if anybody's going to want to go on those hard tires.
Lap 12 to 16. I mean, I tried the hard tire strategy in Tier 3, and it worked for me. It's just depending on what the track temperatures are like. Pretty much this first stint will really tell the drivers where their strategy is going to end up, because sometimes the track can be kind to the tires, and as I found out earlier, it was abrasive to the softs. They weren't really lasting that long. Say about 10 laps, and it just pretty much killed them. But we'll see how these guys handle the tire wear and see what they do.
Yeah, we'll have to see definitely how they handle it. There we go. Is that Insights graph shows up again. I'm seeing the top 10 are all starting on softs. Damzine 11th. He put on the medium tires to start off, so running a bit of an alternate strategy from P11. So maybe that was the master plan for him there. A 12 to 15th, all on the soft tires, then 16 all the way down, all on the medium tires. So maybe the Red Bulls did have that strategy to run double mediums around, maybe go a little bit longer than the rest of the field, build up that gap from there once the tires really start getting the grip. Personally, I didn't like the hard tires too much. I really didn't feel like I had any grip around the circuit with them, and I guess I just couldn't get the heating on them. But we'll have to see. Is now we're lining up to start the race soon enough. As the yep, there we go. The last drivers are joining the grid. So let's quickly switch. Oh, come on, you. Let me switch it to the position change here so we can catch what's going on. As we've got 5 red lights waiting, and we're off. Waiting, still waiting. Drive-through penalty for a jump start for Blind Machine, but we are off on the race. I see 3 wide in the back here, almost 3 wide going into the first turn. Looks like everyone's getting through safely.
It's a Bugler.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Let's see, Mushroom up in first, Jabrulger all the way down in last. Into P17 as, we went 3 wide there. Looks like that was VR and Cruz and Lewis, I think, that were battling it out. 2 wide behind there, as it looks like the top 3 have started to build a gap already here in the first few laps. Almost 3 wide there with that Ferrari, that was Lorenzo. Going around turn 4, so lots of battles going on early on, especially around the midfield, just as we expected. But that's very heartbreak for Gibraltar, who's all the way down in the back after a bit of contact early on in the race. Now let's see. It looks like we're gonna have Cruz looking to make a move on VR, going to the last few corners. I think he's gonna play it safe. And wait, hang on, who is that? They're going side by side there. Did I see?
Yeah, there's Pillars and Mushroom right now.
Yeah. Pills and Mushroom, oh yeah, fighting along. So let's actually keep an eye on this battle, as everyone's really close here for these top, I'd say the top 10 so far. And Blind Machine had to dive into the pits there, I'm seeing, so I'm not too sure. Maybe he took a bit of damage in the
drive-through penalty.
Oh, right. That was for the jump start there. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't want the interval. Let's give it back to the tires here now that we got through the first lap.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, contact. They're going side by side there around turn 4. And it looks like Infamous Pillars does take the lead, but Mushroom's got the inside, but no, doesn't have the traction.
Around the outside.
Yeah, so there we go. That's Infamous Pillars up into the lead. Mushrooms behind, being followed, I guess, with a bit of a gap by his teammate Cruz there, with Lewis behind him looking to put down a bit of the pressure. I'm seeing Thomas putting the pressure on Gexy there, getting very, very close. As nobody's really looking to give any... oh, hang on. Let's take a look at Damsey as they're going side by side with Lorenzo. It goes down the inside, goes a little bit wide, does Damsey. But it looks like, oh no, Lorenzo does come back, and he takes that spot back. So a costly mistake by Damsey, missing the break point. As now we've got Chris85 nearly making a push himself, but he's got to watch out for Elbiku behind. And oh my goodness, that's Damsey going wide again, so he's falling down the order now. Yeah, struggling for grip on those medium tires. Now Elbiku gets past him right before the turn there, but now Elbiku goes wide. So Damsey nearly gets to make the move. Who was that? Oh my goodness, that was Vito. Vito taking the Bottas line through that turn. And oh, who's that there?
This is happening. Oh my god.
Who's that? Is that that's Damsey who went wide too, still struggling for grip. I'm not seeing any wing damage from him. So I think it's just those medium tires struggling to heat up. But there we go, Gibraltar from
Pillars about a second gap.
Yeah. A 1 second gap is Mushroom, and now Mushroom's he's getting looks like he's getting pressured on by Lewis now. Only now 2/10 back. He gets the DRS. He's gonna go to the outside, but doesn't even matter because he makes the move well before the turn. There. So there we go. Lewis up into P2. Mushroom falling down to P3. Let's see.
It's
no.
Gonna get interesting for the lead here in the next couple of laps. Lewis has the pace to compete and wins.
Oh yeah, he's got the pace, but we've got a nice little train going on, at least for the, looks like nearly the top 5, top 6 here. Then we've got a bit of a gap with between Gexy and Lorenzo, but then right behind Lorenzo, we've got Lorenzo, Thomas, and Chris, really all battling it out for P7 there, I'd say. So we've got some nice battles going on early on. I'm gonna jump back to VR and Gexy because I think we might see something brewing here soon. As the gap's less than 5/10 here, as Lorenzo looks like he takes a penalty.
So hard to keep track of. Such close racing.
Yeah, such close racing. Exactly what we wanted. Close, clean racing. Cruz went a little bit wide, so that means VR might get a nice run on him into turn 3. Oh no, Gibraltar into the pits again, only after 3 laps. Oh my goodness, was that VR that tried to make a move? It looks like Cruz went a little bit wide. Good by VR for giving that move, that position back. It almost looked like it was a bit of a dive bomb that didn't go too well. But now VR is starting to feel the pressure from Gexy, who started closing the gap a little bit here. It looks like this is the best battle, but here we go. We're gonna have to keep an eye on the battle for the lead too, because Lewis is closing the gap now to about 5/10. So we might see Lewis and Infamous Pillars dueling it out for the lead sooner rather than later.
Lewis isn't scared to go for the move. He is.
Oh no. Oh no, but here we go. Vito and Mats nearly side by side. Looks like Vito is able to make the move on the soft tires. As Mats goes a little bit wide, struggling for grip a little bit on those fresh, I guess it looks like fresh medium tires, but I think it's just the counter for these tires kind of messing up a little bit. But hang on, oh my goodness, let me go back here, because Lewis and Infamous Pillars, I was talking about them. The gap is closed right here and there, so let's watch this for a little bit on stream, as Lewis, he sets a purple sector 1. So he's really got the pace. He goes to the outside around turn 4, but Pillars still has decent traction. Oh no, but a little bit of a switchback move, and they're going side by side now towards turn 5 or 6. They're switching around Lewis. Oh wow, what a move. takes the advantage, takes the lead. Solid move by Lewis, but I don't think Pillars is going to give that position up that easily. So I think it's only a matter of time before we see. Are they? Let's actually take a look at that here, since we have the technology. Yeah, definitely. Infamous Pillars used up a lot of ERS, and Lewis used up a lot of ERS. So pretty close battle. They're very similar. Elbiku jumps into the pit, so he's getting off those soft tires, I think. Not too sure if he took some wing damage. And it looks like that's Matt's going into the pits too. So he's tired of those medium tires. And oh, here we go. Pillars trying to make a move. Lots of movement there going into turn 3. I guess Lewis really did. Oh, and Infamous Pillars puts a little bit too much gas, so he loses out in a little bit of yeah, a little bit of traction there, but that's going ahead.
You gotta think Lewis can't do that. Moving under braking twice, it's just dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous, but in a case like this, at least it lets me jump to another battle, because you have a Lorenzo and Chris. Not really, Chris is really not letting Lorenzo breathe for a second, as now it looks like he goes down the inside, gets the traction with the soft tires, and makes the move on Lorenzo to go up to P8, so a nice little, nice drive by Chris there. And I want to keep an eye on VR, because VR is really close to Cruz, so he might be able to make a pass with the DRS going down the start-finish straight. Nope, doesn't quite close the gap enough there, but right behind him going through turn 1, so maybe down on the lead up into turn 3, we might see this move happen. He's going to have to watch out because Gexy's still right behind. Tries to kick it to the outside. We'll see if VR can get the traction. Doesn't look like it's really tough to make the move around the outside of that turn. But now I don't want to keep an eye on this battle for too long, because I'm seeing Pillars. Looks like he's closing the gap once again. Oh, VR
around the outside.
Around the outside, wonderful camera angle. Looks like he gets pushed wide, and that means Gexy going around the inside, but Gexy hits the grass, so doesn't quite get the traction. I'm going to have to put a pause on this battle, because I'm seeing Pillars. He's closed the gap again on Lewis, and here we are. We might see this battle kick up again here on lap 9, as we're going to go into the DRS spots here. But there's no shortage of action anywhere on track, it seems. Good news for us and good news for everybody watching at home. I just haven't had the time to take a look and see what everybody in the chat room's saying, because I don't want to miss anything going on track.
Not much going on there. Everybody's just stoked to be watching the race, as Kermit would put it.
Yeah, everyone having a good time, it seems. Now I'm seeing lots of battles in the midfield here. Looks like Avery Bryan and Lorenzo having a battle, at least on track from what I can see. But I want to keep it on this lead battle, as the gap's very close, down to 2/10 now. Pillars buying his time, doesn't have too much ERS to work with, at least for the time being. But Lewis doesn't have too much either, so it is very close. And through all of this, we're only on lap 9. So there's...
And Cruz, somewhere in between there, Cruz pitted.
Oh, yeah.
VR pitted for the hards, same with Matt's.
Yep, I caught Matt's going into the pits, but I didn't catch Cruz going into the pits, so he might be taking those hard tires all the way to the end of the race. As the gaps are starting to form, at least from what it seems. Mushroom and VR are going into the pits now, so they're getting off those soft tires. Mushroom on the hards. And VR on the mediums.
Mushroom's put himself in a good position. It just all depends on what the two leaders do when they stop.
Yeah, now I'm taking a break from the lead battle, because I'm seeing 3 wide going into turn 3. The 2 Ferrari cars in the racing point. Who was that? That went... oh, did he actually make that turn? It looks like he did. Ivory Brian Mike, looks like he got the worst of it, and I think that was Vito with the crazy move. And it looks like he is able to make it stick, but we'll see for how long. Well, Ivory Bryan and Lorenzo looks like they're battling it out. So Vito doing a good job. He's going to try to create a gap now on between his teammate, who's fighting for dear life. It looks like in front of Ivory Bryan Mike.
So many good battles happening so early on.
I know, I'm struggling trying to keep track of them all, just jumping between them. Because now I'm seeing Infamous Pillars closing the gap again, at least a little bit on Lewis.
Oh! Average Mike gets into the back of Lorenzo.
Oh no, did he take a little bit of wing damage? Looks like now they're going to go side by side into the first turn. Let's actually jump to Lorenzo here as he's buying his time, looking to get the... Well, doesn't get the DRS. But he's got the overtake. And he's going to go down the inside as Lorenzo. No driver looking to give any room, and it looks like Lorenzo is able to make the move stick, at least for the moment. He's got the ERS to get away too, so I think that's Lorenzo's spot to keep, at least for the time being, unless there's a mistake going on. Let's take a look. This is a battle for P8 here, from what I can see. Still keeping an eye on the leaders battle here. Neither one of them has pit so far, so the soft tires now probably 11 laps old, I'd say.
Mushroom crucially now only 20 seconds behind the leader.
Oh yeah, so Mushroom really closing that gap. And who's that into the pits? That's Lorenzo who went into the pits, so he's done with the soft tires, and that frees up Ivory Brian Mike. As what Lewis left the session apparently. So I think
no.
it's very unfortunate for him, and he got sent all the way down to P19 all of a sudden. So I'm not too sure what happened there. If he's if that's it for his race, or if this is just a bit of a bug. But Infamous Pillars gets a very easy promotion into first, and it looks like everybody else just got a free position out of that, at least from what I can see on stream. So at least for now, unfortunately the battle's over before it begins. Lewis joins back in, but looks like the damage is already done as the car dives into the pits now for good measure. But that's
what that's going to do for race.
Yeah, you hate to see it, as something you do like to see if you're a fan of Mushroom. He makes the move on Klunenberg, so he goes up into P9 now, and it looks like Alex Ja, Mushroom might be able to make another move on Alex Ja, as he's getting right behind him, as they're all being held up by Jordan on those 12-lap old soft tires.
It's crucial. Mushroom has to get by here if he wants to make any inroads on the pillars, because it's just being held up, and if Pillars extends his sit to make it so he can get onto the mediums, Mushroom doesn't have a fighting chance.
Yep, and
win here.
Yep, and we've lost out in a few gaps, and look at that, Mushroom working his way up the field, passes Alex, and will he be able to make a double move now to pass the Jordan down the inside? There's a bit of contact there, but it looks like he does get the move done. And thankfully Jordan didn't get any front wing damage from that, at least from what I can tell. And who was that? That was Damsey, I think, who's unfortunately not facing the right direction on track, so he's struggling with the grip on those medium tires. Definitely not working for him. Now, I've kind of lost the gaps here on the stream.
Yes, they're starting to show up now for me as...
Yeah, they're starting to show up again now, thankfully, so we can actually keep an eye as to what's going on. Let's actually... Well, here, I'm trying to find these close gaps. Here we go.
Pits.
Oh, Infamous into the pits, so Thomas is up into the lead, followed by Chris and Vito, but they haven't pit yet.
He gets Mushroom by 2 seconds.
Yep, so let's take a look. Yeah, Thomas, Chris, and Vito haven't pit yet, so they're still on those starting tires. So we'll see what they can do. Klunberg, he's looking to close the gap on Jordan, who I think might be looking to get off those soft tires soon, because he's losing a whole bunch of spots. It looks like there's a bit of contact there once again, but Klunberg does make the move stick with the fresher tires compared to Jordan there. As now Jordan, he's getting pressured from Alex just, so I probably see Jordan pitting soon, like I said, just because those soft tires aren't really working for him.
It's crucial for all these guys on soft tires to not be held up in traffic.
Yeah.
Everybody's just kind of thrown together here.
Oh yeah, because already Infamous Pillars, even with the pit stop, he's only down into P4, and there's not too much of a gap between himself and the you know, P1, I would say. Let's take a look. VR and Mushroom, they're actually battling it out. Mushroom has to go wide around turn 3. So he falls down into P6 with the VR getting the better of him, moving up into P5. Now, Alex Joe looks like he had a bit of a struggle around turn 3 himself as he loses a few spots, falls down to P13.
Yeah, Mushroom, it was the right call to pit, but being held up for those 2 laps behind all those cars really just flip-flop the positions.
Yep, and here we go. Jordan, you got to pit now, my friend. You just got passed by Cruz on the hard tires there. So I think those soft tires, there we go. Even the top 3 are pitting now too, so Jordan, if you're going to stay out, Jordan's coming in. All right, there we go. A little bit late, I feel, but better late than never, that's for sure. And there we go, Infamous Pillars up into the lead once again. VR, solid race from him too. He's all the way up into P2 right now. With Mushroom in third, but looking pretty good on those soft tires, I do have to say. And Kluenberg, from starting from the back of the grid, he's all the way up into P4.
Wow! Absolutely, that is awesome.
Yep, Elbiku makes a nice move around Blind Machine there as he goes up into P7. Who's this? Chris making a move on Alexja here, and let's keep an eye on Vito. Who's stuck in this battle too, as he's looking to make his way back up the grid after his pit stop.
Yeah, Kluenberg actually got 15 positions from the start of the race to 4th.
Yeah, that's a really good drive from Kluenberg. I wasn't really expecting that from him, but there we go. Cruz actually makes a move on the man himself, Kluenberg there, or unless they're just battling it out. I can't remember who was in which position there. But it looks like we've got a nice little 3-car battle, but with Cruz, Kluenberg, and Gexy for that P4 position there.
Oh,
and Gexy and Kluenberg. Easy does. It looks like Gexy does get the better of Kluenberg, at least for now. As Gexy goes up into P5, and he's going to try to now close the gap to Cruz, who he himself is looking to catch up to his teammate. But Infamous Pillars, what a drive so far. He's already got a 4.3 second gap now to P2. That's VR there.
It's just been calm. Really ashamed we didn't get to see him and Lewis battle there, but
yep, that was
sometimes need a little bit of luck.
Yep, that was very. It was a very unfortunate for Lewis that he had to disconnect like that. Even more so that the game just automatically bumped him all the way down to last. So unfortunately, the battle was over before it truly began. But
absolutely,
hopefully that's just a one-off, because if we can see battles like this going on for all of season 3, you won't hear me complaining one bit, because already I'm trying to switch between all the different battles on the field. The Blind Machine he's ghosting, so I guess might have been a disconnect from Blind Machine too. So I'll have to monitor that. As Gexy, it looks like he's trying to go around the outside of Cruz. That wasn't really going to work around turn 3, from what I can see. Thomas and Elbiku battling it out around turn 3 too. We'll see if Thomas can keep the position. He gets that second bite of DRS, so he is able to keep that P7 from Elbiku. But we'll see for how long. As oh no, time penalty for VR, so that's not going to help him in trying to catch Infamous Pillars there for the lead.
Both Mercedes on. Oh, my intervals are gone again.
Yep, the intervals are gone again.
Mercedes on the hards, and Gexy and Kluenberg on the mediums.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
There's
yep.
The Gats.
Yep, they're coming back again. I'm keeping an eye on Gexy because he's right up close to Cruz now. They've been battling it out for a better part of the last lap. As Vito, he's now into P10, but he sets the fastest lap so far in that Ferrari car. So really, he's really doing a good job bringing it around.
Gexy down the inside.
Yep, Gexy going down the inside. The outside didn't work last lap, so he's trying it again. But look at that, Cruz with the switchback, and they're going to go side by side as they race down towards turn 4 now. Looks like Cruz still has the advantage for the moment, with the DRS, but we'll see if Gexy can get better traction. He is on the better tires compared to Cruz, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna matter, at least for now. So Gexy's gonna have to stay calm and maybe try again next lap, 2 laps time.
He's got to get it done soon. He wants to get on with it.
Oh yeah, he can't be held up by Cruz for too long. But, I still want to keep an eye on Elbiku, too, because him and Klunenberg have been battling it out for a better part of the while, too. Very, very close with the gap. Now, still, Mats, Ivory, Brian, Mike, Gibraltar, they're also very close. A nice little 3-car battle for P12 there. So we've got battles going all the way down the grid.
Here goes Gexy. Let's see.
Yep, Gexy once again. Let's see, so he tried the outside, didn't work, tried the inside, didn't work, he's trying the outside again, hoping for the better traction. It looks like it does work out for him this time around, as he finally is able to keep that P4, at least for the time being, but Cruz gets the DRS to go to turn 4, but it doesn't look like it matters. Gexy doing a better job defending this time around, and he is able to make that move stick. But now, can he make the gap, can he build this gap, I should say, before the next bite of DRS, so that way Cruz doesn't have a chance to get back at him. As Lorenzo, he retires from the session. Looks like he's finishing the race in the pits. So no points for Lorenzo for this race, unfortunately. As Vito looks like he's being held behind Klunenberg. He gets some DRS, but so does Klunenberg on Elbiku. I think Vito still has the fastest lap, but he's going to want to get a move on himself because it looks like he's caught in a little bit of traffic after his pit stop. And there we go. He is able to make the move around the outside. Yeah.
Down the, oh.
Thought about it, but thinks better.
Yep.
But we'll
get him right here.
Yeah, here we go.
Elbiku went wide.
Yeah, Elbiku went wide. It's a nice traction from Vito, but Elbiku, he's still putting up a bit of a fight, but maybe not too much. I think he knows the move is done. And I think if you're Elbiku, you might be realizing your battle is probably more with the driver behind you than the driver that's now in front of you.
Absolutely.
And who is that? Now, speaking of, we were just looking at that turn. Gibraltar and Mats were battling it out. It looks like Gibraltar is able to get the better of Mats with those medium tires. 15 laps old from what we can see, but to be honest, I'm not too sure if that's legitimate or not, because apparently Damsey's on 26 lap old soft tires, and we're only on lap 22. Yep, and Blind going into the pits too. I'm looking for these close gaps. It looks like Elbiku and Vito.
Closing on Cruz.
Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that too. Looks like Elbiku is still keeping a bit of a he's keeping up with Vito, so good on him. Matt's not giving up that P10 without a fight with those hard tires, but for now we can take a bit of a breather, but not too much of one, because anything can happen with what is it, maybe 14 laps to go if my math is right?
I believe so. What a race so far by Infamous Pillars, just smooth. Use a little bit of ERS to maintain the gap to VR.
Oh yeah.
The gap's pretty much been around 4 seconds for about 5 laps.
Oh yeah, a very calm, cool, collected race from Infamous Pillars, as he's so far looking pretty good to bring it from from a pole start all the way up to victory. As we're riding with Thomas here, as he's starting to close the gap to Cruz. He's gonna think about going down the inside, but thinks better of it this time around. But now he's really close and might even get the DRS help to be able to make this move going into turn 4.
Had a bit of wheel spin out of 3.
Yeah, that'll hinder at least a little bit.
It locks up the right front. Good measure. So next lap.
Yep, he's gonna have to wait at least another lap before he can make the move. Now let's see.
This is letting Vito catch up to the back of Thomas, which will end up bringing Cruz.
Yeah, the gap between Thomas and Vito brought down to less than 1.4 now, as There we go. Nearly
Thomas
saw a
tries
little
to go
bit of
around the
contact.
outside.
Yeah, not really. You don't really see a move being made too much there. But here we go. He tried it. He's gonna try again around the outside this time around of turn 1. Can they get the traction? No. Thomas goes a little bit wide, so he's gonna have to concede the spot at least for now. But all of this is letting Vito close the gap to just over a second now. Here we go. They're side by side now. Thomas is around the outside. He's gonna try the switch back, but Cruz just gets a little bit of better traction once again. So Thomas just can't make the move stick. And Vito now he's closing into DRS range now too, just to add a little bit of an extra element to this battle now. As that's Klunenberg, he lost 2 spots there, a little bit closer down the grid. Looks like Elbico and Blind Machine are dealing it out a little bit further down. Let's quickly jump and see what's going on. They're side by side. Oh well, I mean Blind Machine's a bit of a ghost, so not as exciting there.
Thomas very wide out of the final corner. Vito right there as well.
Yep, Vito now right there. So Cruz might be able to breathe a little bit easier, at least for now, depending on how quickly Vito can close this gap. Because if Thomas isn't careful, he might lose a spot instead of gaining a spot like he was originally hoping for about a lap ago, I'd say.
Again, VR just keeping the gap at 14 seconds on older tires and pillars too. Ooh, huge lockup from Thomas.
And here we go. I'm watching Klunenberg. He's bolts it around down the inside. It looks like on their turn 3. I couldn't even tell with that camera angle, but either way, Elbico gets some nice traction. They're still going side by side to turn 4 in this crazy battle for P13. And looks like Elbico is able to get the a little bit of contact, but Elbico's still holding on to that P13. Just want to keep an eye on that quickly. But yeah, here we go. Back to Vito, Thomas, and Cruz. Back to this battle for P5 now, as Vito might even think about making a move if he can keep up with Thomas. Yeah, Thomas using that overtake button. Doesn't have too much left. He's gonna try around the outside, hope for that traction. Looks like Cruz gets a little bit of a better traction than Thomas, but they're still really close to one another. Thomas really wants this P5. He's trying around the outside. Cruz doing a good job, though, of holding down the inside. But now Vito, look at that traction from Vito going around turn 4. And Thomas, unfortunately, he falls down to P7. Vito up into P6 as he's trying to work his way back up the grid. And he's going to try his luck with Cruz probably in about a lap's time, I would say.
Absolutely. Cruz went a little bit wide. Really just pushed the AlphaTauri a little bit wide. Vito just, that's all he needed. Didn't need a second invitation.
Yep, here we go. Cruz defending the inside. Vito, he's thinking about going around the outside, but no, thinks better of it. He does have some overtake to work with, although not too much. Compared to Cruz, who doesn't really have much to defend with. And oh my goodness, look at that. Vito makes the move, makes it look easy as he goes up and as he gets promoted up into P5 pretty quickly after getting past Thomas there.
Vito under fire, back again. Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna
Cruz,
make that sick on the better tire.
Yeah, Cruz trying to put up a fight, but the problem with Cruz is that he doesn't have too much ERS to work with. And Thomas has been able to conserve at least a little bit, but I think Vito is going to be able to grow that gap pretty quickly, especially being on the better tire. The question is, can he catch up to Gexy for P4? Can he close that 2.3 second gap?
VR just closed the gap a little bit, and then all of a sudden, right back to 4 seconds. So, with 8 laps to go from his pillars in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's in the driver's seat, doing a very good gap control job for sitting in first, making sure that gap is consistently right around 4 seconds. So very strong driving from Infamous there, I do have to say, in his debut race for Tier 2 here.
Getting a glitch that says Klugenberg's on 32 lap old softs. And
yeah, I'm seeing that Alex J on 35 lap old. So, oh, there we go. He just switched off on the soft tires again. Speaking of Klugenberg, though, him and Ilbiko are still battling it out for that P13. Looks like Jordan's now involved in this too. As we got a nice little 3-car battle now for P12. I think so as long as these drivers finish, I think every position does pay out some points. As let's quickly jump to Ilbiko as he tries to go around the outside of Jordan. Pulls a switchback. Looks like there's a bit of contact there. Bullies his way around the inside, but now that almost opens the door for Klugenberg to try to make a move on Jordan too. But thankfully for Jordan, he's able to keep that P13, but Ilbiko almost bullies his way around the Alfa Romeo car for that P12.
Yeah. Looked like Klugenberg was going to have a bit of a look, but just never.
Yeah, thought about it, but just didn't have quite the traction he was hoping for. I did notice that Thomas was able to get past Cruz finally for good, as he's up into P6. So I think Cruz starting to feel it a little bit on those hard tires, especially now near the last end of this Grand Prix. But I don't want to talk about that for too long, because Klugenberg once again looking to make a move on Jordan, who he's looking to make a move on Ilbiko. So we've got a nice little battle here that that just keeps reviving itself every lap for this P12.
Every point counts in a long season.
Oh yeah, with 18 races, every single point counts. So even if you're battling for P16, P13, P12, you want that extra spot. And we can see that too. Alex J, he's looking to close the gap on Dempsey. Down to 4/10 just about. So I'll have to keep an eye on that as Ilbiko once again looking to make a push on Jordan. Not brave enough under braking, so he's going to hold steady in P13 for the time being. He's going to have to keep an eye on Klugenberg right behind him, but he also wants to get past Jordan for good to get that P12, because with 6 laps to go, we're starting to run out of time. Cruz, he makes a move on Thomas as they looks like they went side by side at least a little bit, so this battle is still going on right when I think it's done. Let's see, Jordan's still able to hold on to that spot, but actually no, Ilbiko gets nice traction, taking that inside line, which turns into the outside line, but it looks like that doesn't matter, as Ilbiko, he's really getting a good vibe around those inside turns, as he's got the 12th position now. As he bests Jordan, who now he's gonna have to keep an eye on Klugenberg, who's just been buying his time on those soft tires, just hoping for a mistake that he can take advantage of.
Yeah, he's got to get on as well. I don't know how old those tires are, but I don't think they're 38 laps old, considering it's a 36 lap race.
Yep, I was gonna say. I say a wonderful.
That gap for first just opened up by another second.
Yep, up to 5 seconds now. So yep, Infamous Pillar looking to add a bit more of a safety net. Here we go, Klugenberg. He's gonna go down the inside of Jordan, as I guess those medium tires are starting to fall off. But here we go. As I say that, oh no, never mind. Jordan gets pushed a little bit wide. And Klugenberg is able to hold on to that P13 pretty comfortably, at least for now. But I don't think Jordan's going to give up just like that. And Ilbiko, all the while, is able to grow that gap up to nearly a second now, with about 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Thomas, LB, and Cruz still just battling away.
Yep, and I'm trying to keep an eye on that gap at least a little bit, because I don't want to miss anything going on there. Down to less than 5/10. So let's take a quick peek and see what they're up to here in the dying seconds. And look at that, they're one behind another. Surprise, surprise! Like it feels like they have been for the entire race so far.
It's just great. We've just been able to see with so far in the 2 opening races, just battles everywhere.
Oh,
Feels
yeah.
like everybody's pretty well matched as far as tiers are going, so look forward to the rest of the season.
Oh, I definitely.
This is what we're gonna get.
Yeah, I definitely do, and it looks like Alex John Dempsey thinks about making a move a little bit. I know the gap closed very, well, hang on, Klunenberg and Elbiku, they're basically side by side going through this section over here. Elbiku is able to keep that position, but Klunenberg, he's not giving it up just like that. He's on the soft tires. 40 laps old, I really don't think that's the case, or else he'd be quite literally on a slip and slide right now, but, I guess it adds to the mystery we have here in the commentator's booth. He's gonna go down the inside. It looks like he gets the better, he gets the better line, but Elbiku not giving up. They're still gonna go side by side. But no, Klunenberg is able to keep that spot, but we'll see for how long.
These 3 drivers are putting on a show.
Oh, definitely. And oh my goodness, Elbiku around the outside. What traction from him there as he takes that P12 right back from Klunenberg. And now all the while, Jordan, he's buying his time, hoping for something to happen there.
Absolutely. This is great. This is great.
Yeah, amazing scenes we have. You know, never mind Cruz and Thomas still keeping each other honest.
Mushroom has troubles. Dexy's closing in for the final podium
Oh, well, look at this. What eyes we've got here.
And Vito.
And Vito, too. So all the while, now here we go, Gexy and Mushroom for the last podium position with 2 laps to go. Here we go, let's keep an eye on this battle for at least a little bit. So it looks like I think Gexy might be looking to conserve a little bit of ERS, but Mushroom doesn't have too much to work with either. Now I'm gonna quickly jump down.
None of them.
Yeah, because Klunenberg and Elbiku, they're still battling it out as Elbiku goes wide. But Klunenberg, I'm not too sure what happened, but he falls way back now. So Jordan goes up into a P13, and he might even get a P12 now as he goes, as he makes a move down the straightaway on Elbiku. And I guess taking it easy for him worked out well, at least for the time being, but Elbiku not giving it up. They're still battling it out. Elbiku gets a little bit anxious, clips the gravel there too, so Jordan is able to keep that P12 from being into P14 from not too long now. But now let's take a break from that and jump to Gexy again as he's down to 4/10 to Mushroom now with actually on the penultimate lap.
Oh, he's got to make it soon.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do it soon. He doesn't have too much ERS to work with, but with about a lap to go, maybe he's exactly where he wants to be. But Vito, he's one that's gonna have to get a move on if he wants any thoughts of sipping the champagne. But look at this, from P3 to P5, you could probably throw a blanket on them if you really wanted to, and you had a big enough one. And they'd all be covered, and here we go, so we're about to start the last lap for these drivers. Infamous Pillars, we haven't given him too much love, but, you know, up into P1, where he's been the entire race. But I want to keep an eye on this battle for the last podium position here for the last lap. As Mushroom, he's disqualified!
Whoa!
Mushroom got disqualified on the last lap.
Vito
on Gexy, here we go. We can't sit on this for too long. Vito going around the outside. They're side by side around turn 3. Who's gonna take this last podium position? It looks like it's Vito for now. But what happened to Mushroom? As that's his race over. He goes from a P3. Oh, there's contact. Hang on.
Here we go.
Gexy, he gets the elbows out, takes his P3 back from Vito. Vito's not giving up as he gets the inside line. No driver looking to give each other any room. Gexy still has it, but look at the traction Vito gets. There's more contact as nobody. They're still side by side going into the last 2 corners of the race. Vito just takes it for now. Gexy, I think Gexy might need to. Oh no, he goes around the inside. Who was that? It's VR's out. DNFs. It looks like Vito. He gets the P2. Gexy the P3, and Cruz through all of that. Oh, he falls into P5 from penalties as Thomas takes the P4. What did we just see? What did we just witness here in this Tier 2 race? Safety car? What's that? We don't need them. Oh my god, now here we go, Jordan Klunberg.
These three guys are battling.
Let's see, it's still anybody's race as, there we go. Blind Machine, he falls down. Klunberg finishes with supposedly 50-lap old tires here. Gibraltar and Dempsey, they're close by. This still is not done here, as will Gibraltar be able to pass Dempsey?
Final points position.
No, and he does actually pass Gibraltar up into P12 now. What a finish for Tier 2. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
If that doesn't get you hyped for what we have to see is Vito. He gets driver of the day on top of all of that. Yeah, Azen, we don't know what's going on either. But, you know, I'm happy we got to witness that.
Wow. First of all, give it up for his pillars. What a race.
Oh no, Vito was struggling. Looking at, sorry, not Vito, Lewis. I'm sorry to hear about the connection issues, Lewis. We're on land. We're actually on a land connection here at our end for the host. Just catching up on the comments here, but there we go for the podium there. Completely different podium than what we were expecting. About what, 2 minutes ago now.
Absolutely.
But here we go. Infamous Pillars. He takes the win from pole. What a race by him. Vito up into P2 after all the craziness. And Gexy, he's takes that last podium position. Thomas into P4. Chris into P5. Cruz, Ivory, Brian, Mike, Jordan, Blind Machine, and Klunberg round out the top 10. I don't know what to say about that race. So I might need to let you kind of cover me a little bit here because I'm at a loss for words.
Absolutely. That was insane. I mean, it was close all day, and then just to see the way that this ended with the last two laps, Vito and Gexy are sitting here just trying to get past Mushroom for a final podium position.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but Gexy just trying to get to the back of Mushroom, and then that allowed Vito to get to the back of Gexy. And then all of a sudden, last lap, all of a sudden Mushroom's disqualified. And these guys are just now, we're battling ourselves for the final podium position, and at the line, they find themselves both in the podium, fighting for second. Let's try to get these guys in here.
Yeah, let's definitely try to get these guys in here and see what they have to say about that crazy last lap, because to be honest, after Vito pit onto the mediums, I saw him down into P10, P11. I didn't think I'd expect to see him on a podium here, but here we are. And this is why we, this is why we do the races. This is why we actually have the races. We don't end on qualifying.
Absolutely. Just trying to find them.
Yeah, just let me know when you get the invite sent off.
I have to suggest it to you.
Alrighty, so let's go and get that done. So for those of you watching at home, you're going to see a bit of a wonderful screen, at least for the time being. It shouldn't be for too long. Alrighty, so we sent the invite off to Gexy. We'll see if he can join in. Go Infamous Pillars. We sent the invite off, and it looks like we do have Gexy in. Gexy, can you hear us? Alrighty, so oh my goodness. So how are you feeling about that race? Take us through that last lap. I guess is probably the first question I gotta ask you.
Yeah, it's a bit painful because I got a penalty on the final lap, and that,
oh no,
that cost me P2. So yeah, it was just cool. I mean, Mushroom stopped out of nowhere because he got disqualified, and I had to stop because I thought I could hit him, but he was ghosted. So then I slowed down, and Vito got closer, and then I got another penalty, and it was just a battle to the line, and he won it. So.
Okay, so Billy, I don't know if you've got any questions to ask here.
Between you and Mush, and all of a sudden Vito catches up, and there's a three-way battle for P3, just for one final podium spot, and then at the end of it all, you're sitting there to try and fight for second. Like,
Yeah.
how is the driver? Are you sitting there just not like? Are you seeing this in real time, or you're just laser focused?
I was very focused, but I knew Mushroom wasn't in a battle with me because he had 20 seconds of penalties or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, he had 24 seconds at the end, and then got disqualified for too much, I guess. So yeah, I was pretty confident because Vito also had 3 seconds more of penalties than me, so I just kept the mediums going, and then it kind of worked out. But then that final lap happened, and it cost me a place. But yeah, very happy still.
Well, we enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, we definitely enjoyed it watching from home. That's for sure. Perfect.
All right, let's go to pillars here.
Yeah, let's jump to pillars.
Hey.
Perfect. So, can you hear us at all? All right, perfect. Let's take a look. So, oh, sorry, Billy, go on ahead.
And reserving, taking pole, and then finishing it off with the win. How do you feel right now?
Oh yeah, were you? I was just gonna say, were you sweating a little bit with Lewis early on when he was coming up pretty close to you?
Yeah, it was beautifully. You maintained the gap to VR. It was pretty much at 4 seconds for about 15 laps on that second stint there, and it was never in question. It was just a matter of bringing the car home. Like, it's good to see, man.
Perfect. Already.
Yeah, you gotta be proud. Winning on debut, man. Welcome to ISRL. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, and I think we have Vito in here too. Vito, can you hear us?
I can.
You can? Perfect. So, how you feeling after that race? I saw after your pit stop out of the mediums, you're down to P10. Did you think coming out of that pit stop that you'd be able to finish off on the podium there?
Definitely not, because when I came out of the pits, I didn't know anything. So yeah, I was just pushing as hard as I could, and managed to get the podium somehow in the end.
Oh yeah, it must have been exciting to see by the end of it in the last lap. I'm sure you probably got the notification with Mushroom. That must have. I was gonna say, were you excited to see that right at the end? Just a little bit of the gift spot up into the podium positions there.
Yeah, but I was already excited because I was really close. I had the DRS, and there was always gonna be a battle. But yeah, it was unfortunate for him.
Oh yeah, very unfortunate there on the last lap for him.
Yeah, starting the second to last lap, you were P5, and when you crossed the line, you were P2. That has got to be a great feeling.
Yeah. Amazing feeling, yeah.
Well, congrats to the podium. You guys put on one hell of a show for us today, and I'm just glad I got to watch that. That was great.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a fantastic race. Thank you so much for coming into the commentator's booth, at least for the interview. And Billy, thank you so much for joining me in the commentator's booth for the race.
That was my pleasure.
Yeah, what a race it was. And for everybody watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like what you saw, I know I did, make sure to hit that like button, you know, subscribe, hit the bell, the notifications, just make sure, you know, so that way you don't miss anything. But I think for now, at least in Tier 2 for the week, that's all we've got for you. We will be seeing Tier 1 starting in about 35 minutes time now, if my math is right. So I do hope you all join us then. So any parting words, Billy, before we end it off here?
Everybody, that was a great race, and this season is already kicked off. I cannot wait to see what we're looking like at round 18 in Brazil for all three tiers. Tier 1 should be exciting. So, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Thanks for commentating, guys.
Oh, no problem. And for everybody watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, hopefully we'll see you tune into the Tier 1 stream as well. But until next week, that's about all we got for you here on this stream. So thank you so much, and I do hope you both in the commentator's booth and everybody at home has a fantastic rest of your day. Alrighty, goodbye now.